So you've probably heard it, right? Don't bother learning to code. AI is going to do it all for you. It's a super common take these days. But what if the CEO of GitHub, literally the world's biggest platform for developers, says that's completely wrong? Okay, let's get into his story and find out why. I mean, that's a pretty huge statement coming from Thomas Dohmke. This is the guy leading the company at the absolute center of the AI coding revolution. And he thinks coding is a fundamental skill, just like learning physics or math or, how to read.
And that's the real head scratcher, isn't it? If a machine can just do the work, what's the point? Well, to really understand Domske's perspective, we've got to go back, way back. His own journey started in a world that could not be more different from the one we live in today.
All right, so let's set the stage. We're talking about a divided Germany, East Berlin, where just getting your hands on technology was definitely not something you could take for granted.
So imagine this. Dohmke was born in East Berlin, and he's just 11 years old when the Berlin Wall comes crashing down. He describes it as a whole new world just opening up overnight. Suddenly there's Lego, Mickey Mouse, and most importantly, his very first computer. And that was it. That was a spark that started a lifelong cash-in.
Now, here's what's so interesting. This experience shaped his whole philosophy. He argues that as humans, we can't just be in read-only mode. We can't just be passive consumers of all this software and technology around us. We need to know how to create with it, how to build with it. It's a crucial part of being human in this digital age. And just look at the difference between learning then versus now. It's night and day. Back in the 90s, he was digging through books and magazines, just hoping someone at a local computer club could help him figure something out. Today, you can just ask an AI a question and get an answer instantly, 24/7. The barrier to getting started has basically just vanished. So this passion for creating eventually led him to take a massive, massive risk that would totally define his career. Okay, picture this. It's 2008. The global financial crisis is in full swing. Dohmke has a safe, stable job at the auto giant Bosch. Then Steve Jobs gets on stage and announces the iPhone SDK, opening the door for app developers. Dohmke sees the future right then and there, so he quits his job in the middle of a massive recession to become a freelance app developer. What a leap of faith.
So he and his friends started building tons of apps for clients, like 30 a year. And they immediately ran into this huge headache, the awful, clumsy process of emailing beta versions of the apps back and forth. You know that feeling when you're just like, there has to be a better way? Well, they built a tool to fix their own frustration, and that little tool became their startup, Hockey App. And here's the wild part. The company was completely self-funded, bootstrapped, as they say. And when Microsoft acquired them in 2014, the entire company was just 11 employees. 11! It's just such a powerful reminder that a small team solving a real painful problem can have a massive, massive impact.
This whole journey, from a hobbyist coder to a successful founder, gives him this really unique perspective on the biggest shift in software development he has ever seen: the rise of AI. I mean, just let that sink in. This is a guy with over 30 years in the game. He's seen the fall of the Berlin Wall, the rise of the commercial internet, the smartphone revolution, and he says AI is the single most transformative thing he's ever witnessed. That is a powerful, powerful statement.
So what does this actually look like in a developer's day-to-day? Well, before AI, you might spend hours just digging through documentation. Now, you just ask for a script in plain English. Instead of manually writing all that boring, repetitive code, suggestions just appear as you type. It's really become a true partner in the whole creative process.
And one of the biggest problems AI helps with is this thing called technical debt. Basically, it's all the old, messy code and quick fixes that pile up over the years. It's like clutter that slows down everything new you want to build. Well, AI is fantastic at helping clean all that up, which frees up developers to innovate and build cool stuff. And the result is a huge boost in productivity. Dohmke estimates AI can make developers 10, 20, in some cases even 50% more productive. What that really does is allow small teams or even a single person to build things that used to be possible only for giant corporations. But, and this is a really important but, Dohmke is super clear about AI's limits. You can't just type "build the next GitHub" into a prompt and have it magically appear. Not even close. AI is a tool, a co-pilot, not a replacement for the pilot. We still need human engineers for the big picture stuff, the systems thinking, the architecture, the creative design. That's all still on us. So this all brings us to the big takeaway. In an age of AI, what is the role of the human creator? What should we really be focusing on? His advice is incredibly clear. First, learn to code. It's the language of the modern world. Second, use AI as your teacher. It makes learning accessible for absolutely everyone. And third, never stop rehearsing. Keep practicing your craft, constantly honing it.
Okay, this is my favorite point. He calls this AI's superpower. Think about it. You have an assistant with infinite patience that never, ever judges you. It never makes you feel bad for asking a stupid question. That fear of looking dumb, which is one of the biggest barriers to learning something hard, just gets completely erased.
So what's the future he sees? It's not one where AI replaces us. It's a future where we conduct an orchestra of agents. We are the creative directors, the visionaries, using these amazing tools to bring our ideas into the world faster and more ambitiously than we ever could on our own.
And that brings us right back to the beginning. The whole point is to get out of read-only mode. The goal isn't just to consume technology, but to create with it. With these new tools, the question is no longer if you can build your idea. The only question left is, what will you create?